Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering woke airline gets humiliated, deletes Twitter post celebrating an all-female flight crew. Let's get into the story. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys. This is the same airline that got criticism for coming from Zero Hedge, rewarding obesity, Southwest giving free second seats to customers of size. Of course, there's nothing wrong with having an all-female flight crew, but it's really not a selling point, especially when there are so many close calls with airlines. And we just had this Alaska Air incident where people are worried about, are you focused on diversity or are you focused on getting people from place to place and having them survive the flight? Coming from Fox News, this one just came out. FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. FAA says people with severe disabilities are the most underrepresented segment of the federal workforce. Okay, but I mean, it is the FAA. You want people to be able to do their jobs. If they can't do the jobs, they shouldn't be doing them. Elon Musk had this to say from the New York Post. Boeing prioritized diversity and inclusion over flyer safety after the near-catastrophic Alaska Airlines mishap. Also from the New York Post, from their editorial board, Elon Musk is right about Alaska Airlines blowout. Boeing's DEI push could literally kill people. But don't worry, a columnist from the Richmond Times-Dispatch, Michael Paul Williams, says DEI does not crash planes. Stop using diversity as a scapegoat. If you guys weren't so focused on the diversity thing, we would never bring it up. But you make us nervous when you're doing things like promoting how diverse your planes are and how diverse your employees are when the current public conversation is about safety. From Zero Hedge, amidst questions surrounding whether diversity and inclusion drives are jeopardizing airline safety, Southwest Airlines deleted a post on Twitter celebrating an all-female flight crew. Covered by that great Twitter account and wokeness, this is their original post, all-female flight crew? Go off, queens! And as you can see here, this post has been deleted. The post featured an onboard photo of 2 female pilots and 4 air hostesses, 2 of whom are black. Quote, all-female flight crew? Go off, queens, stated the post. Go off, queens? Go off what? The plane? After other Twitter users began ridiculing the post, the company swiftly deleted it. Apparently, the queens didn't get a chance to go off after all. Respondents expressed satisfaction at the company's quick reversal. From Meeman on Libs, the poor DEI hired intern saw airlines trending and thought this was a good post to make. Another response, the woke companies are getting roasted and sued with their DEI programs. It really shows total lack of awareness of their customers and the issues today. From Overton Live, these companies are completely out of touch with the people they allege to serve. Southwest Airlines recently hit the headlines for its policy of giving obese people a free neighboring plane seat if they demand it, even if someone has already booked and paid for that seat. Meanwhile, Alaska Airlines, fresh from the controversy of a faulty door blowing off their plane in midair, is also facing ridicule for its own obsession with gay virtue signaling. And when they say gay virtue signaling, this is what they're talking about. This is from Alaska Airlines at an event. And what does this have to do with flying, really? I mean, it's nice to make everyone feel welcome, but you want to have the impression that Alaska Airlines is really focused on the flying thing, not on the gay pride thing, when you get on their plane and you trust them with your life and the lives of your family members. And with Delta Airlines, we have this from Wall Street Silver on Twitter. What the F is wrong at Delta Airlines? Their DEI department is ordering everyone in their company to capitalize black and brown. Meanwhile, when referring to white people, it should always be lowercase. They show in this picture a race and ethnicity style note instructing employees to capitalize black and brown in Delta communications. Unlike black or brown, white, in quotes, should be lowercase. When referencing race, ethnicity, or nationality, be as specific as possible. From Fox News, FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. The FAA is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities, psychiatric problems, and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. Quote, targeted disabilities are those disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruiting and hiring. They include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, severe intellectual disability, psychiatric disability, and dwarfism. The initiative is part of the FAA's Diversity and Inclusion Hiring Plan, and I've done so many of these videos, more than 100 of the woke shutdown videos, I have actually covered part of this before. And here's what their plan says. Quote, diversity is integral to achieving the FAA's mission of ensuring safe and efficient travel across our nation and beyond. The FAA's website shows the agency's guidelines on diversity hiring were last updated on March 23, 2022. The FAA, which is overseen by Secretary Pete Buttigieg's Department of Transportation, is a government agency charged with regulating civil aviation and employs roughly 45,000 people. All eyes have been on the FAA and the airline industry in recent days after a plug door on a Boeing 737 MAX 9 blew out during an Alaska Airlines flight on January 5th. The FAA grounded all 737 MAX 9 planes after the incident and is carrying out, quote, extensive inspection and maintenance work. The FAA added it would increase its oversight of Boeing in the wake of the incident, including auditing Boeing's 737 MAX 9 jetliner production line and companies that supply parts to the airline manufacturer. Following the incident, social media commentators and public figures have said that airlines and airline manufacturers' emphasis on diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives has made flying less safe. Elon Musk commented, "Do you want to fly in an airplane where they prioritize DEI hiring over your safety? That is actually happening." And his basis for that is what's covered in this tweet from James Lindsay. Let's have a close look at Boeing and DEI. Boeing's corporate filings with the SEC reveal that beginning in 2022, they created an annual bonus plan to reward their CEO and top executives for increasing profit for shareholders and prioritizing safety, was changed to reward them if they hit DEI targets. This is their 2022 changes to our program design. This is at Boeing, and it says specifically here, while our 2021 design incorporated operational performance in the areas of product safety, employee safety, and quality, for 2022, we will add two other focus areas critical to our long-range business plan: climate and diversity, equity, and inclusion. So if you work for that company and you can fix the climate and you can hire people who are diverse, you're going to get a bonus. Quote, the DEI rot in the airline industry is way worse than you think, Daily Wire commentator Matt Walsh wrote in an op-ed last week. Critics of such commentary have pushed back on the argument that prioritizing DEI has made traveling less safe, with civil rights groups slamming Musk, for example, for the abhorrent and pathetic tweet. When asked for a comment from the FAA, including what roles people with disabilities would fulfill, the FAA told Fox News Digital that the agency thoroughly seeks and vets qualified candidates from as many sources as possible for a range of positions. Dr. Stanley Goldfarb, chair of Do No Harm, a group of healthcare professionals, medical students, and policymakers working to protect healthcare from a radical, divisive, and discriminatory ideology, told Fox News Digital that similar to the medical field, the aviation industry has an obligation to protect its travelers. Quote, the aviation industry has a responsibility for traveler safety just as the healthcare industry has a responsibility for patient safety. These responsibilities outweigh other factors when considering applicants to work in those fields. People with disabilities who can successfully complete the task should never face discrimination. Unfortunately, he said, identity politics is creating opportunities for so-called oppressed groups by lowering standards for entry into those fields and thereby endangering the safety of those which it's designed to serve. Some endeavors simply do not lend themselves to identity politics, he added. The FAA's website outlines that some managers can hire disabled people and veterans through an on-the-spot hiring process, providing required documentation is submitted. The FAA also notes that employees with disabilities will be provided reasonable accommodation on the job. Reasonable accommodation at the FAA, quote, ensures that people with disabilities have access to accommodations that suit their needs. This can include modifications made to the existing facilities or special equipment, according to the website. All of us are open to everyone having opportunities to do the jobs that they can do on their own. I'm even 100% behind if you need a special accommodation to do your job, and it's easy to provide that. Go, do the job, that's fine. But you can't lower the standards. You can't change the functions of the job just to try to get more candidates in that aren't qualified. No one needs to see how diverse the airline is. They just need to know how safe it is. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Always love to see your ideas. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.